6 habits that poor people laugh at, but rich people follow unconditionally. What's the difference between a so-called best and a normal person who's been hugely successful? Did successful people have a natural talent? No, according to a recent study, daily habits, apart from natural talent, have a big impact on success. The overwhelming success of the best had only one simple habit. The important thing is not a natural talent, but a continuation. Today, we will learn about the strange habits of the world's best people. At first glance, it may seem like a weirdo, but once you know it, you'll be surprised, so please open your eyes and ears and pay attention. 1. Think of your remaining time of your life in the morning. The most eye-catching thing in the life of the Collison brothers, who have become the youngest billionaires in Silicon Valley history, is the time-saving habit. Patrick's home, now 30, has a computer that counts down the rest of its life, assuming it lives to 80. They can visually see that the rest of their life is decreasing. The brothers always look at this time and renew their determination to cherish each day. And that's what they says. If time is unlimited, you can enjoy watching TV, but lifetime is limited. The habit of cherishing time in many ways is the key to their success. If you're regretting that you've wasted time on a smartphone game that's not very fun, make sure you get into this habit. 2. If you say your dreams out loud, a miracle happens. Larry Ellison, a Silicon Valley entrepreneur who ranks among the world's top 5. From the time he worked for a very small company, he was convinced that he would one day set up a company and become a billionaire. Ellison said he had a habit of drinking coffee with a friend and telling a dreamy story, "What building should I buy if I make a lot of money?" And whenever he had time, he discussed with his coworker what to do to make money. They ended up joining Ellison's company. He constantly announced his dream to others and spared no effort to actually realize it. The moment you bring your dream out of your mouth, it has the effect of creating a positive circuit for your brain to achieve it. And the more you think about it, the more the circuit gets stronger. The enhanced brain circuitry actively leads to all of our minds and actions, devising every strategy to make our dreams come true. If you have a habit of unwittingly pouring out complaints about your company, you'll be able to talk about your dreams at that time. I hope you have a habit of talking. Your dream will surely come true. 3. Plan what you'll do tomorrow before you go to bed. DeepMind founder Demis Hassabis, known to us as AlphaGo, is considered one of the greatest geniuses that appeared in the 21st century. But there is something interesting about his lifestyle. He does some work the next day before he goes to bed at night. It's about thinking about the next day's work in your mind. And it goes to bed. Then, our brains plan ahead, solve problems, and plan strategies for the next day while we sleep. All this happens while we're sleeping. Our unconsciousness is not resting even when we are sleeping. When you fall asleep thinking about a problem you're worried about, you'll often think of a solution after you wake up. If you've ever thought about what to do in the morning, you'll soon realize how effective it is to think about and prepare for what to do in advance the day before. Before you go to bed, think about what to do the next day. 4. Memorize the whole important information. Warren Buffett, the world's top investor, has a different habit than ordinary people, and he memorizes all the information that matters to him. He especially liked numbers, and he memorized a lot of statistics from elementary school, including the city population of Omaha. When he was in college, he even memorized the entire textbook, and he still puts the net profits and sales of various companies in his head. Buffett said in his autobiography that this habit has determined his success. Buffett earns a fortune by making long-term investments with an amazing eye for prospects before he grows into a big company. In fact, Buffett makes the final decision by comprehensively analyzing and gaining insight into a huge amount of stock information to select promising stocks. This insight is maximized only by utilizing all areas of our consciousness and unconsciousness. In order to make good use of consciousness and unconsciousness, important information that is memorized in everyday life is used as a useful foundation in the brain. Why don't you have a habit of memorizing important information related to your work as much as possible? 5. Play the video in your head indefinitely. Swimmer Michael Phelps had a habit of repeatedly imagining perfect matches like playing videotapes for training purposes. It's not just a vague idea, but it's a detailed image of the process of jumping into the water from the starting point, shaking his arms, turning, speeding up, arriving at the destination, taking off his swimming cap and looking at the electronic display. The habit of accurately playing virtual games in seconds is repeated all the time after waking up in the morning, before going to bed, and just before the game. This is the training method that his coach taught him from childhood until he retired. This habit allowed him to deal with bad luck without panic. A person who is not good at speaking in front of many people can either get up in the morning, prepare for the speech, finish the speech, and imagine it over and over again before going to bed, eliminating or reducing the mental burden. If any of you are suffering from practice, I hope you can do this imaginative training. 6. Studying without practice is useless. Bruce Lee was a true martial artist and movie star who became a legendary figure when he died at the young age of 32 by spreading Eastern martial arts to the West at once. Western men were enthusiastic about Bruce Lee's first martial arts they saw in the movie. Bruce Lee is a person who has a habit of focusing on theoretical research as well as steady physical training to further develop his martial arts skills. How can I quickly overpower my opponent in the real game? Which part of the body should I train to minimize the damage if I get hit by the opponent? Lee has read many books and studied to get answers to questions like this. His house had 2 rooms for martial arts, one for exercise and the other for study. As a graduate of the philosophy department at the University of Washington, he tried to find philosophical meaning in martial arts, and left an incredible saying that the movie star said. Knowledge is not enough. Must be applied in practice. The will alone is not enough. You have to do it. Fear comes from uncertainty. This fear can be eliminated if you know yourself well. The reason why Bruce Lee was able to spread martial arts not just as an action actor but as a way of physical and mental discipline to the West is because he pursued physical training and martial arts theory research at the same time. It's a habit that anyone who wants to achieve something in their lifetime wishes to keep in mind. For overwhelming success, there is only one simple habit. What's important is not a natural talent, but a good habit and a continuation. I hope you can make your own success habits and practice them constantly. Life is ultimately determined by what habits you have. It was Andy. Subscriptions and comments give me strength.